Staging is designed to move your eye away from the 3 places a builder can actually save money: the framing, installation, transitions. Nobody stages those because you can't photograph them. And by the end of this, you'll be able to check all 3 in about 10 seconds each with your hands standing right there. Hi, I'm Abigail Anderson. I'm a realtor here on the East Side. I grew up around a builder and an interior designer. So I learned to see a house from the studs out, not from the paint in. And here's the thing most buyers get backwards. The finishes are the part the builders want you looking at. The quartz, the white plank floors, the big island under a nice light. That's the easy stuff. That's the stuff you can buy at the end. The money a builder saves or doesn't is behind all of it, in the parts that got covered up before you ever walked in. So let's go to the 3 places it actually hides. Place 1 is the framing, the bones behind the drywall. Here's why you care. The framing is the one thing in the house you can basically never fix later without tearing it open. Floors, paint, even a kitchen, all replaceable. The skeleton is forever. Now, you can't see the studs, but the drywall will tell on them. Here's what most people don't know. It's not about how far apart the studs are. You'll hear people say 16 inches is good, 24 inches is cheap. That's not quite right. 24-inch spacing with right lumber and thicker board is real. Energy efficient way to build. So don't count the studs. Feel the wall instead. Pick a big open span, a long hallway, wall over a stairwell, and just press the flat of your hand into it firmly between where the studs would be. A well-built wall barely moves. It feels solid, like a table. A corner-cut wall gives a little. You'll feel soft flex, maybe a faint drum sound. That flex means the board's too thin for how far it's spanning. And down the road, that's the wall that waves and pops nail heads under the paint. Call it the wall flex. Press the wall, and if it pushes back, they didn't cheap out on the bones. Place 2 is insulation. And this is the one that quietly costs you every single month. Insulation isn't really about what they use. Foam, fiberglass, whatever's in there. It's about whether they installed it carefully or just stuffed it in to pass inspection. And here's the part that shocks people. On a fiberglass bat, a gap of just 5% can cut out how well it works by a quarter or more. 5% of the wall left open knocks out 25% of the performance. That's not a small miss. That's your heating bill for the life of the house. So here's the paint the corner cutter hopes you don't check. You cannot see inside the wall, but the wall has little holes already. Your outlets. Find an electrical outlet on an exterior wall. A wall with an outdoors on the other side. On a cold day or a hot one, just hold the back of your hand right up to it. If you feel air, a little draft, a temperature change, that insulation around it wasn't packed in right. There's a gap in there, and where there's one gap, there are usually more. A carefully built house feels dead quiet at the outlet. Nothing is moving. Call it the outlet draft. A wall can't lie to your hand the way it lied to the camera. Place 3 is transitions. Anywhere 2 things meet. Where the floor meets the wall, where the tile meets the wood, where the trim wraps a door, where the counter hits the backsplash. Here's why this is a tell that never misses. Nobody can lay a nice floor in the middle of a room. The middle is easy. Quality lives at the edges, because the edges are where you can't fake it. That's where a rushed crew runs out of patience. So, walk the meeting points. Look at where the wood floor changes to tile. In a careful home, the seam is tight and even, maybe a thin, clean strip between them. In a rushed one, it's an uneven gap smeared with a fat line of caulk. Caulk is the tell. A little is normal, but a thick, wavy bead of it, especially colored, to hide the seam that's not a finish. That's a cover-up. And while you're down there, two fast ones. The doors. Knock on an interior door, or just lift it by the handle. A cheap one is hollow, light as a picture frame, sounds like a drum, and you'll hear your kids through it. A good one is solid, heavy, quiet, a low, dull knock. Builders swap these out room to room to save money where they think you won't check. So, check. Knock on the door. And the reveal, that's the little gap around a closed door, between the door and the frame. Run your eye down it. On a well-framed house, that gap is the same width top to bottom, side to side. A clean, straight line. When it wanders, tight at the top, wide at the bottom, that's not a door problem, that's the framing behind it, telling on itself again. The whole thing connects. Sloppy at the edges usually means sloppy in the bones. Call all of it the meeting point. The middle of the room is the sales pitch. The edges are the truth. So, 3 places. The framing with the wall flex, the installation with the outlet draft, the transitions at every meeting point. None of them are staged. None of them are in the photos. All 3 you can check with your own hands before anyone talks you into anything. And once you know where to put your hands, you can't walk through a house the same way again. I'm Abigail Anderson, realtor here on the East Side, and I'll see you in the next one.